All right. Happy Monday, or no, Friday. Happy Friday and happy May 1st, everybody. Thank you for joining Strength. My name's Abby. I'm the health fitness professional here at the Houston site, and I'll be teaching Strength on Fridays for the month of May. So I'm going to run through what we got going on this May. And I can't believe we're already here, like in May. Like, I'm like, what? We're almost halfway through the year. Are you kidding? It's insane. Anyway, like I said in the chat, you're going to need medium, light, and heavy set of dumbbells and a mat. So if you want to grab those while I run through the waivers, you're welcome to do that because we'll jump directly into our warm up after this. So for the month of May, we have our Mobility Matters webinar. So that is going to be a 4-week program. It's going to, I believe, be every Friday. We are going to have a short, like 30-minute webinar where we're going to talk about mobility and the importance of mobility, what it does for the body and mind. So that's going to be really fun. I will be on the one next Friday, so hop on. I'm very, very excited about it. So sign up for that to get ahead. And then Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. So we are going to just do a office care ergonomics webinar as well, or I'm sorry, Fit Chat. So it's like a little podcast, and it's going to be on May 13th at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And this is just going to help take care of your eyes and teach you to breathe and just like different techniques to help with mental health. And then last but not least, we have our cooking demo every third Wednesday of the month, my favorite Wednesday of the month. So hop on that. We are making chicken and veggie lettuce wraps. So high protein, easy, quick, and it tastes good. So that's all I got for y'all today. So I'm going to stop presenting. I'm going to go ahead and start our timer. We're going to warm up. I'll run you through the exercises and then we'll get started. So comfortable shoes, mat, and dumbbells. So we're going to go ahead and warm up. And then while y'all finish warming up, I'll go through the exercises that we got. We're going to start feet hip width apart. We're going to raise those hands. I want you to inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, activating that core. I want you to knit the ribcage together and pull that belly button to spine. So we're going to bring pelvis to neutral, interlace the fingers, and then we're going to lean to the left. We're going to get a nice stretch through those lats because it's a pool day. So we're going to be working on all the pool moves for full body. So we're going to be using those lats a lot. Your pool muscles are your back muscles. So and your biceps for upper body. So it's going to be your lats, your traps, your rear delts, and your biceps, along with the other some of the smaller assisting muscles in the back. And we're just kind of going back and forth, getting a stretch through those lats. Inhale again, you can bring it back to center. All right, we're going to go down. We're going to reach for the toes. The pull muscles for lower body are going to be those glutes and hamstrings. Think I'm pulling myself up out of that toe touch, right? And we're doing that by activating our glutes and hamstrings. So we're going to stretch these out real quick. Inhale and exhale. So what it's going to look like today is we're going to have 3 blocks of exercises. And in each block, there's 2 exercises. So 6 exercises total. The first block, we got glute bridges and pull overs. So lots of core and glutes. Reach down again. And then this time, bend the knees. We're going to crawl it out to world's greatest stretch. So we're going to come to a plank position. And then you're going to step that left foot forward next to your left hand. Drop your right knee to the ground. And then we're twisting the left hand up into the air. Inhale and exhale back down. So the first block, we got about 7 minutes to move through these 2 exercises twice, doing each exercise 10 to 12 times. So reps of 10 to 12. So 7 minutes for the first block, 7 for the second, and 7 for the third. The second block has your RDLs and your bent over rows. Step it back together and swap sides, dropping left knee to the ground and stretching that right hand up. So we'll have our hinging, pulling on that lower body, and then we're working our lats. And then the last block will be biceps and reverse flies. So targeting those biceps, the pull muscles of the arm, and then those rear delts and those reverse flies. All right, step your knees together, Lower your chest to ground. We're going to do some scapular activation here. So you're going to kind of come up like you would for Superman, except we're not lifting the legs. We're leaving those on the floor. Bring your hands out in front of you. And then you're drawing your elbows towards each other. And then you're going to go forward again. You can actually rest your head on the ground. The main thing for this is I want you to pull your shoulder blades towards each other. Okay, so we're going to like pinch our shoulder blades like we're holding a pin between them. And I really just want you to feel that in your back. We're activating those scapular muscles because we're going to use them in today's exercise. All right, go ahead and come back up to standing. I want y'all to finish your warm up with some good morning. So glute, ham activation, hands come behind head. Feet are about hip width apart. We are pulling that belly tight to spine, soft bend in the knees, bring chest parallel to the ground. Lots of hinging today. So I really want to warm up those core muscles and those glutes to support the back for this hinge motion. All right, y'all are going to finish up those hinging while I go through the first block of exercises for y'all. So I'm just going to demo everything with the lighter weights. First block, we have glute bridges and pullovers. So I'm just going to go through block 1. And then when we get to block 2, I'll go there. You're going to walk your feet in towards your glutes, okay? So I want not quite touching, but pretty close, because when you bridge up, I want you to have a 90-degree angle with your knees. So if you're out here, you're not to 90. So you need to bring those feet in. So when you bridge, you're at 90. All right. And the farther out your feet are, the more pressure you're going to feel on your hamstrings, the less you're going to feel it in your glutes. So bringing those hips up, and we're going down. And you can do these weighted, or you can do them without weight. It's up to you. We're like really working the glutes. I recommend adding weight. And then we'll go 10 to 12, and then we're going to go into pullovers. So you can stay in that bridge position, maybe walk the feet out a little more. You can hold the dumbbell here, but you'll get deeper if you're here. We're going to do pullovers. So keeping the arms just slightly bent, but we're not doing skull pressures. We're going to really drive that low back into the ground, knit the rib cage together, pull the belly button to spine for some core work. And you're going to feel that stretch through the abdominals. So that's block 1. We're going to do that 2 times, reps of 10 to 12. Are y'all ready? Grab your dumbbell. I'm going heavy for the glute bridges and medium to light for the pullovers, because that weight is a little bit heavier because of the movement, right? So we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Bring those feet in. Place that dumbbell on your hips. And we are bridging up, driving through the glutes. So I really want you to squeeze those glutes, but you're also pulling in that core tight to the spine. So that belly button tight to the spine. So we're really drawing that rib cage in and pulling the rib cage down. Like, I don't want you to flare your rib cage. So I don't want you to like arch your back, pull that belly button down. And as you do that, you should really be pulling those ribs down and knitting that rib cage together. And you should kind of feel those obliques come in on the sides. I'm on 5. So we're going to go 6. And you can go at your own pace. 7, 8. And I'm kind of pausing at the top, lowering back down nice and slow. 9, 10, 11. And I'm going to go to 12. 12, you should really be feeling that burn in the glutes. All right, I'm setting my heavier weight to the side. You can get a breather. You can get a sip of water if you need to. We got 5 minutes left, but we're going to go into those pullovers. So I'm going to grab my medium dumbbell, and I am going to hold it in this position. I'm not going to do triangle position. I prefer triangle position if I'm doing these elevated on a bench, but since we're on the floor, we're going to hold it like this. All right, so it gets soft, bend in those elbows. I want you to dig that pelvis into the ground like we would for a dead bug. So if we were in a dead bug position, right, you're really going to pin that low back to the ground, and you don't want it to lift. All right, 3, 2, 1, we're going to get into it. So we're going to go 1. Use that core to pull back up, and you're going to feel it in the lats as well. 2, 3. Inhale as you lengthen. So as you stretch that dumbbell over your head, inhale, exhale as you come back. And that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That core engage. 10, 2 more if you can. 11, 12. And if those were super easy for you, you might not be doing heavy enough weight or your core is not activated. You should be feeling that burn in the abdominals. Again, you're going to have that urge to kind of like flare that rib cage, but I really want you to keep it down. All right, I'm switching my dumbbells out, but we don't have to start just yet. We still have a few minutes here. So that dumbbell is going to rest on my hip bones, which can be a little uncomfortable. So usually I'll do like a pad if I'm doing like very heavy, a heavy load. You can also hold them on your sides if you have smaller dumbbells. You can hold them like that. So those are your options. All right, I'm going to get ready to go back into those. So load your hips if you're using weight. Walk those feet back. Inhale, exhale, activate the core, and we're going up for our first glute bridge. 1, coming back down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, as you lengthen, so as you're going down, you're inhaling. And as you're coming up, you're exhaling. And when I mean lengthen, I mean the main muscle group that we're working. So as we go down, we're lengthening those glutes, and then as we come up, we're shortening them. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, and we did 13. Oops. That's okay though. All right. We are going to grab our weight for the pullover. We have a second of rest here. All right. Bringing that dumbbell up. Ready? Engage the core. Pin that low back to the floor. Draw the rib cage down and belly button to spine. And we're going back for 1. Remember, inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you bring that dumbbell back up. I'm halfway there, so I'm on 6. If you're going a little slower, that's okay. 7, 8. I'm going to go to 12, 9. You can just stop at 10. You can. This is 10. And the last one. Get that full extension. And come back up to sitting. And we finished perfectly on time. All right. While y'all rest and take a breather, I'm going to go through our next set of movements. My recommendation for weight is again going to be that heavy and medium weight because we got RDLs and bent over rows. So you can go a little heavier with the RDLs, but if you want to do medium weight and then you are welcome to do that. So for RDLs, this is glute and ham exercise. So you want to bring your feet about hip width apart, right? So same setup that we have for the good morning. So you're going to go feet hip width apart. We're going to hinge from the hips and we're going down just past our kneecaps and coming back up. So we're not doing a deadlift. So there's not really a squatting motion. This is mainly a hinging motion. So you can pick up those dumbbells. When I'm doing this exercise with dumbbells, I don't hold them straight out in front of me. I kind of hold them at the side of my legs, kind of angled, so that my shoulders don't round forward. Because if they're right in front of you and you go here, this is putting a lot of pressure on that back and rounding the shoulders forward. So keep them close to your legs. And we're going down. And then my range of motion is about just below my kneecaps, and then I'm coming back up, driving through the glutes. All right, so those are our RDLs. If you need to go a little heavy, lighter with those, you can. And then for our bent over rows, I'm going to go a little bit of a medium weight. It's a hinging motion as well, so we might need a little more rest time between since we're hinging a lot. So again, same setup, feet hip width apart. You can actually go a little wider for this if you want, bending the knees and bringing chest as parallel to the floor as you can. And then we are angling those dumbbells and pulling them towards our side. It's not up and out. You're pulling those to your hip sockets. All right, so those are our two exercises. If you get tired, you can alternate for those. Are y'all ready? Go ahead and grab your weights for RDLs. And we're going to get into it. Same split, set of 10 to 12, next exercise, and then repeat again. All right, feet hip width apart, hinge at the hips, slight bend in the knees, and shoot your butt back. Keep that back nice and flat. Drive through the glutes to come back up. Like squeeze the glutes as you come to the top, and that's what should pull you up, not your back muscles. Another cue that I found like very helpful is like you want to hinge back like you're shutting the car door with your butt. Have y'all ever like had your hands full of groceries and you have to like shut the car door with your butt? Same kind of movement. So we're just gonna pop it back, you know. And I'm at 8, 9, 10. If you need to stop at 10, you can. 11 and 12. And come back up, set that weight to the side. And grab that medium to lightweight for those bent over rows. And for bent over rows, we're feeling it in the back. So we're feeling that in the lats. So we're going to go ahead and take a breather for a second longer. Get some water if you need to. Swap out the weights. Again, we really want to focus on shoulder position and scapular retraction, right? So my shoulders are rounded. I'm not really using, I'm going to use like my neck. And we don't want to use our neck for this exercise. We really want to use those big back muscles. So engage that core. Bend at the knees, shoot that butt back like you're going to shut the car door, and bring your chest parallel with the ground. Let the weight fall, kind of pull your shoulder blades apart, and then lock it in, okay? So pull those shoulders away from your ears, and then bring them up. So that's 1, 2, squeeze those shoulder blades together. 3, 4. If you need to alternate arms, that's fine. 5, 6, halfway there. You can also go at your own pace. If I'm going too fast, or if you're like, I'm doing this faster, maybe slow it down a little bit. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and come back up. If your back kind of starts to get tired during that set, because I know we're doing a lot of hinging, you're free to come up, roll your shoulders around, readjust, engage the core, and then go back into it. I would much rather you do that than push through. And if you're stopping at 8, that's okay too. The goal for hypertrophy is always going to be 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps is the general recommendation. All right, so you can go up or down in that weight, whatever you feel like you need. We're going to go back into those RDLs, and then we have our last section. So we're over halfway through. We're exactly halfway through, actually. So pull those shoulders back, retract those scapula, feet hip width apart. Inhale, pull that belly button down into the spine and rib cage down. We are bracing our spine, so we're protecting our back when we engage that core. And put tension on the glutes as you go down for your first RDL. That's 1, 2. Keep those dumbbells close to your legs. You're almost shaving your legs with the dumbbells. Your fingertips are going to kind of like raise your leg. Or about at that halfway mark. If you're between 4 and 6, you're halfway there. Get a stretch in those glutes. but don't arch that low back. 9, 10, 11, and 12, and set that weight to the side. You can stretch those lats out if you need to. Do what you need to do. Protect your back. And then we're going to go into those bent over rows. So go ahead and get those dumbbells. Get a sip of water. Swap out your weight. Get your posture stacked. And take those feet about hip width apart. And let those dumbbells come down. Bring your chest parallel with the ground. Slight bend in the knees. Glutes are engaged for this as well. So we have that stretch in those glutes, and it should feel like you're at the bottom of that RDL. And then we're pulling that in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull into your hip sockets. 9, almost there. 10, and I'm going to stop at 10. So if you want to go to 12, feel free to. I'm going to start demoing our next movements while I'll finish up that set and take a sip of water and get a break. This one, pretty standard. You can go medium to light depending on your upper body strength. I'm going to go a little lighter for this one. Also, rear delts. It's a lot. Rear delt flies are hard. That's a small muscle. It's hard to target. Go lighter. That's my recommendation. But we got our bicep curls first. So we're going to bring those palms up. So step that posture, palms up. And we're curling all the way up. And then as we go down, we don't want to straighten out our arms. So what's going to see something you see a lot is straightening that arm out. What you're doing there is resting. So we want to keep a slight bend in the elbows the whole time, right? So we're going to go down, come up, keep that slight bend in the elbows here. We're pinning those elbows to our sides. So no rest, right? And then we're going to go into reverse flies. Same hinging motion that you did for RDLs and the bent over rows, right? So slight bend in the knees. When you straighten out those knees, it's just going to be a lot on that back. So slight bend in the knees. Bring it about shoulder width apart. Give yourself more of a base of support. Keep those eyes on the floor in front of you, and we're going to angle these out. So they're not here. I'm not doing this. So slight bend in the elbows, and we're going here. So I'm like angling the dumbbells to kind of like we did for those RDLs. And then my pinkies are out. We really want to get that rear delt activation. So 2 times, sets of 10 to 12. If you fail at 8, it's okay. I would rather you protect your back than that because I know we're doing a lot of pinching. So we're going to go into those bicep curls in 3, 2, 1. We're doing 12. So, and if you want to swap out your weight and do medium for bicep curls and do heavy for rear delt flies, you can do that. I'm at 6 for bicep curls, but you can count for yourself if you want. At 10, I'm going to do 12, 11, because who doesn't love a good arm pump, you know? All right, and we're going to set our medium weight side, and I'm going to go light for the rear delt flies because I have very weak shoulder muscles, which is something I've discovered recently. So, really need to target those delts. All right, we got a few seconds of rest, and then we're going to hinge from those hips. So find your position. Again, I'm going shoulder width apart, so I'm giving myself a little wider of a base of support for this exercise. Pulling that core in. Always practice that core activation. And then hinge from the hips, bring that chest parallel with the ground. Angle those dumbbells out, and we're going to our first fly. Slight bend in the elbows. 2, 3, 4, and you're dragging those shoulder blades together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. I'm not getting to 12 on those because I told you I got those weak rear delts. But we're working on it. We're working on it. All right. We're going to go back into those bicep curls. Last set. Y'all can chill for a second. And then we'll spend our last couple minutes cooling down. So this is the last set, y'all. Y'all made it. All right, you ready? Bicep curls. 3, 2, 1. Bring them up again. Palms facing up. When you rotate those palms in facing each other, you're hitting a different head of the bicep. So this is that like main head of that bicep that you're hitting. Whereas when you're doing hammer curls, you're hitting the smaller one, which is still good to do. But that's going to give your arm like a wider look, but it also presses on that big head of the bicep. So it also makes them look bigger. So both are important. I'm at 8, 9, and 10. I'm going 10 for those. So rest. And then we're going to go into our last round of reverse flies. And then we'll cool down with some stretches and call it a day. And don't forget to log this as your master class. Look over the manual and take the quiz. This is the last week of Q for Perform. So don't forget to get your points. All right, rear delt flies, last round. All right, shoulder width apart. We're hinging from the hips. Chest comes parallel with the ground. Keep that head even with the spine. Don't look up like I'm looking. Look at the floor in front of you. Your head follows your eyes. So where your eyes go, your head is going to go as well, right? We learned that all on driver's ed. Same principle with working out. All right, rear delt flies. 1, 2. Pull that core in. 3, 4. You can alternate sides if you need to, but just do both sides. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go 12, 11, and 12. And set those dumbbells aside. Mine rolled. All right. Take it to the mat. You're going to bring it to quadruped positioning. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Drop it to cat for me, okay? Lift that chin and chest. Stretch through that spine. Inhale and exhale. Round it out. Drive to those palms. Inhale and exhale. And then drop it back to cow. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. And reverse it back to cat. Shake out that low back. Bring it to neutral. You can widen your feet a little bit. I'm going to press it back to child's pose. Getting a nice stretch to that low back and that upper back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Walk the hands to the left. So you stretch through those lats. Breathe here for 2. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And walk it center and then to the right. Unless your dumbbells are in the way, like mine are. And that's problematic. Right. And breathe. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through. And inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Bring it back to center. And we're going to tuck the toes and go into pike, stretching the glutes and hamstrings and calves. Walk those hands until your feet or until those heels are on the ground. If you can't get those heels on the ground, then alternate. Kind of bending one leg at a time, stretching with those calves. Inhale and exhale. And then you can slowly start to walk your hands towards your toes until you're in a forward fold or toe touch. Grab the back of those legs and pull chest in. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you can if there's a lot of pressure on that low back. And then you can just kind of slack and release the backs of your legs and roll back up to standing. All right. That's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for joining Strength. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And it's raining where I am, so stay dry if you're in Houston. And have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. You're welcome. Y'all have a